Hey, visionaries. Welcome back to another Filmtastic Friday. Our movie this week is The Call of the Wild. Based on a legendary novel written by Jack London, Call of the Wild excites with adventure, heartwarming jokes, and terrifies with suspense. I use all those terms very loosely, however. Call of the Wild tells the story of Buck, CGI dog. He's smarter than Matt Damon, who began with a wealthy background, but was captured and shipped to Alaska. Buck is purchased by a couple who delivers mail across the Yukon. But the only thing I seem to be thinking is, where's Harrison Ford?
The Yukon is a dangerous place.
Oh, there he is, narrating the movie. So the movie progresses, they continue to deliver mail, everybody's like, Buck, you're the best. Buck's like, yeah, I know, I'm a cool dog. Things are going great, up until they don't. The owner of the dogs receives a letter from his boss, says, sell the dogs, return to Quebec. He tells the dogs, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. They're not fine. They're bought by this wealthy 1%er who's just interested in finding gold and doesn't really care about the safety of the dogs. At that point, Harrison Ford steps in, and it becomes a cute little fairy tale. Buck loves Harrison Ford loves Buck, and they decide to go on an adventure together. Most of Jack London's charismatic and creative lines were often discarded for overly cheesy Disney lines, such as, he's head of the pack now, and we're going on an
adventure of a lifetime.
I was quite puzzled about whether this was a fantasy film for a family audience, or whether it was an action-adventure film for rugged and outdoorsy folks. It turned out to be neither of them. The Call of the Wild was directed by Chris Sanders, with a screenplay written by Michael Green. The main talent in the film was Harrison Ford and Dan Stevens as the antagonist. I was not overly impressed with any of the performances throughout the film. Kinda like day-old bread. I'll take it, but I don't love it. And the CGI was horrific, uglier than the bathrooms in Newark Penn train station. The movie intended to tug at your heartstrings, but most of the content was cliche and overplayed. Now, I do love Harrison Ford in other movies such as Star Wars, Blade Runner, and Indiana Jones. Except the one with Shia LaBeouf. Just do it! Upon conclusion of the film, The Call of the Wild asks that you enjoy the beauty of the journey. Unfortunately, that beauty is muddled with overused topics and underwhelming outcomes. And other than the love that I had for this CGI'd pup, there wasn't really much else that had me love in the film. Therefore, I'm going to have to give Call of the Wild 1 out of 5 stars. I would suggest this movie to anyone who is an animal lover, especially that of dogs, and anyone who loves nature. Definitely not someone looking for good CGI though. Although the film wanted to seem ambitious and exciting, it was anything but that. Filled with the same lackluster charm you can find in any modern blockbuster. That's it for this week, my visionaries. Thank you so much for joining me. Please join me again next week for another Filmtastic Friday. And until then, always stay fresh, stay original, and stay organic.